Hello, everybody, and welcome to the George Michael Singers podcast. Thank you for listening. Hope you're enjoying the stories. Please don't forget to subscribe.
KG's in the house.
I'm in the house.
Whoop, whoop. Is that your studio?
Yeah, this is my new space in
Is it a top secret location? Can the audience know where you are?
Yeah, I'm in Brisbane.
He's in Brisbane,
Australia.
mate. Did you put the shrimps on the barbie tonight?
Not tonight. I did on Christmas Day. And apparently that's where Throw Another Shrimp on the Barbie stems from. Christmas. And I'm helping myself to a glass of wine.
Are you on the wine? I'm on the coffee because it's currently 10:15 in the morning here.
Yeah, so I've just left a little dinner party in my living space.
Aww.
So I thought I'd grab a glass of wine and come in.
Well,
you guys.
Thank you for coming on Conversations with the George Michael Singers podcast.
Yes.
Really appreciate you, babe.
Where's
For the audience,
singers?
this is a really old mate of mine, and I've been desperate to talk to you just generally anyway, but I want to just talk about how you met George. We'll get to that, but first of all, let's go back. Let's just go back, way back. KG's worked with some of the most incredible artists, producing. Yeah,
producing, writing, remixing, mentoring, being a psychologist.
So
all the rest of the stuff you do.
Let's go back. So you used to live in London. How did you get into the music industry, Carl?
So I went to a school in Fulham, and I've always dabbled with instruments from primary school. We all played recorder, and then we dabbled in a bit of piano, played guitar. I played violin when I was very young as well.
Wow,
so I got quite good at most instruments, but not very good. The only instrument I took seriously was when I went to secondary school, and I took up drums, which I loved. And then when I got to about 12, I reckon, when hip hop first started bubbling, I kind of traded my drums in for a drum machine. that was and two turntables, and that was kind of the end of that. So my professional music career probably started in secondary school when, as you know, I was in a band called the Outlaw Posse.
That's right.
Who's
that? Was that with Bello? That was with Bello, wasn't it?
That was with Bello. So there was me and Bello in the same class, along with Darkus as well, as you know.
Yes.
We went on to run Island Records. So it was quite a talented little clique of people, and obviously.
What was your school? Where was your school?
My school was in Fulham. It was called Henry.
Oh, that's right, Fulham. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously I met you when I was about 18. No, maybe less than that.
We were about 18. We were about 18.
Yeah, probably about 18. So that would have been when I just got my first record deal with Bello.
Which was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I mean, it seems like a couple of years ago.
I know, we go way back. We go way back.
We go way back. Way back.
I know.
So it's interesting that we've kind of met up again. I now live on the other side of the world.
Yeah. So it's really interesting because when myself and Carl, can I call you Carl because it feels weird calling you KG, even though that is your name, your studio name. I met Carl, like obviously when we were 18 years old, and you were going out with my best friend, weren't you?
Yeah.
And that's when I was going out with Ben from Curiosity.
Yeah, and that,
Remember, we used to hang out together.
I remember because I first met Ben at your house. You and Laura shared a flat in Wimbledon.
Yeah. And then that's when I was really trying to make my way into the music industry. So like meeting you and sort of going out with Ben was like.
But weirdly enough though, you never ever said to me that you wanted to be a singer or was going in that direction. I had no idea until you actually made it. That's when I kind of found out. So you kind of kept that on the down low.
Yeah,
I actually never heard you sing.
I'm
at
not
that time?
entirely sure why I did that, but I think I was just, I don't know why I did that actually, because I was like mesmerized by you and your talent, and I was mesmerized by going out with
Oh,
Ben. I
you
think
held
I
that
was,
down because I had no idea.
oh, well, yeah, well, that's now that's how I met George when I was sort of that the guys that are watching this, they know the backstory of me. I want to know how you met George. That's what we're really on here for, really.
Yeah, I would love to. The funny thing is, I would love to know how you met George because that
Oh, okay.
we could
I'll
get into
quickly
that.
tell you. I'll just really
Yeah,
quickly
go
because
on.
they all know. Um,
Yeah,
so I was working in the studio for many years, honing in on my craft, and I was working in Boundary Row Studios from the age of probably about sort of 17 through to
yeah.
I worked there solidly for like 3 years with a guy called Paul Powell. Do you know Paul Powell?
A name sounds familiar, but I
He
can't
used to
remember.
play bass with Bros, but he's one of those
Oh yeah,
really
yeah.
musical geniuses.
All right, so let me just
He
cut in there. So my stepfather at the time was doing the flying for Bros because Bros used to come flying out.
really.
Yeah, they used to come flying out on their show like some kind of Michael Jackson shit. But anyway, that was just a little side note.
So that okay, so there's a little connection again there again.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I was working with him for like 3.5 years, and I literally lived and breathed and worked in this studio called Boundary Road, and I'd be doing loads of backing vocals for lots of different people, and that's probably around the time that I would have met you. So that's probably why maybe I wasn't confident enough to tell you that I was a singer because I was
yeah,
still kind of working on my craft, and I just felt probably I wasn't confident enough to say I'm a singer yet.
yeah,
And then I was saving money to go on a rave holiday with the girls, and it was Paul that suggested that I do a rather than spend the money on going raving with Laura and that to Ibiza, use that money to build a demo tape, a cassette tape, which I did, and we did 4 tracks. And fast forward, when started going out with Elliot, and and he Brad was staying with us. Brad Branson. Do you remember the photographer Brad Branson?
yeah,
Did you ever meet
yeah.
him?
I think I did. Yeah.
Right, it was him that nicked that cassette tape and played it in the studio because he was taking pictures of George. He nicked that cassette tape from my bag and played it in the studio while he was taking pictures of George. And George was like, "Who's this?" And he went, "This is this girl Jo that I've been trying to talk to you about. You've got to meet her. She's fucking really cool." Da 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 da. And I literally met him that night, and he signed me to his record label the next day. I
Oh
mean, it's like
wow.
you can't write that shit. It's like that's what dreams are made of. I went from
Uh-huh.
literally being in the studio, like most backing vocalists, because I did end up doing backing vocals for many, many years.
Yeah.
But that's because, life takes you on a different trajectory sometimes, because I actually wanted to be an artist. But so I went from literally being in the studio, home, like working on my craft, to literally then going straight into working with George Michael. I mean, you just like,
That's
he
great.
literally elevated me so much.
That's crazy because I never knew anything about all that until years later, and obviously I was doing whatever I was doing at the
Well,
time.
so that this is why. So I was in awe of you because I knew, because at that time, the whole sort of acid jazz
Acid
scene,
jazz.
jazzid as. Oh my God, you can tell I'm tired. Acid jazz scene was happening, and you were kind of part of that movement, weren't
Yeah.
you? You and
Yeah.
Bello with the Outlaw Posse, and there was Jamiroquai, and there was,
Yeah.
oh, what was that other group?
I know who you're talking about.
Galliano.
It was Galliano, but it was one group specifically. The Femi Fem was in it.
That's it, Femi.
Carlin Anderson, and I can't remember the other guys' names. What are they
Um,
called?
um, oh, here we go. Are
Oh
we?
God,
I'm like, do you know what? I've actually got notes because I just know that my brain forgets stuff.
I know.
What were they
They
called?
would, they were one of the greatest acid jazz.
I know, and I
They
can't
only made,
remember.
they only made one album,
Oh, and
which
it was incredible
and it
that,
was
but still to this day, that's one of my favorite albums. Oh,
what was that
I'm going
single
to look it
they made
up.
that was massive?
I'm going to look it up because I've got to know what it is.
Apparently nothing. Apparently nothing was the big tune.
Apparently nothing, nothing
Right. Why I can't
apparently.
remember their name?
Hang on, I can't either. Apparently
Just
nothing.
Google
Hold
it.
on. I've just got to know what it is. Apparently nothing. Apparently nothing. What was that album? That was such a great album. Young
Young
Disciples.
Disciples.
Come
Young
on.
Disciples.
I've got that album. Was that I used to play that when I DJ'd.
That was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant album. And I remember because while they were making the album, because Femi actually produced an Out the Posse song for us, and
Oh,
I
did
went down the
he?
studio and I was doing the cutting and scratching on a few of their records, and I got to remix. They done a record called Step Right On. That was quite big. That I did a remix for, and Bello done a kind of guest rap on it. So it's all kind of interlinked, and
Interlink. So obviously when I met you, I was in total awe of because you were very, very established at that point. But we're all still
yeah.
finding our way, right?
Oh, listen, you never listen. I'm still winging it. You know what I mean? That's how I feel, man. I've had imposter syndrome for the last God knows how long.
Come on, do some name dropping.
All right, so
KG
well,
produced
you can see a few things behind me.
All
So,
Saints, right?
All Saints was probably that's when I kicked the door in properly. Because prior to that, I'd remixed probably just about everybody you could remix,
Give me some names. Give
including
me some names of who you've
George.
remixed.
Oh God, you're talking like over 500 records. Do you know what I mean? If you're talking about my whole discography. So off the top of my head, obviously George, um, uh, oh God, Pras from the Fugees.
Wow.
I've done Gangstar. I've done Noriega. I've done. Do you know what? There's so many that I literally can't remember.
Can't remember.
I've forgotten most of them.
Wow.
But these are all from productions, so they're not
So are they mostly,
recent.
is there mostly All Saints up there, or is it just,
So there's quite a lot of All Saints. There's Jesse J. There's Damage. There's a guy called Carl Thomas who's American, signed to Bad Boy. And who else? Liberty X. There's Jamie Cullum. There's Rod Stewart. Weirdly enough, there's a Canadian group called Sugar
he's
Jones.
so humble.
There's loads of shit, man.
This is a major, major player right here. So because I know they're desperate to know, how did it come about, the whole George Michael? It was Outside that you remixed, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So I remixed Outside, right? But prior to that, how that even happened is because I was being managed by Andros.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, that's
I didn't know that.
it's his cousin, right? Something like that. Anyway, but
I
anyway,
don't
so I
think
was
they're
managed by
officially cousins, but they call each
yeah.
other.
Well,
Yeah, they grew
Greek
up
family.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, Greek families, blah blah blah. Right. So yeah. So I was managed by Andros, and the girls, All Saints, were close friends with Andros's wife.
Yeah, Jackie, that's
They,
right.
Jackie, that's right. So we all used to kind of just hang out a lot. So 9 times out of 10, when I went to see Andros, George was there, and that's kind of how I got to meet him. And he was
Oh,
just like
okay.
just another member of the family. He'd just be hanging out and be like, "Oh shit, that's George, that's George Michael."
And
You know?
he's so
And he
humble,
was
right?
so humble. He's so cool.
Yeah.
And I did go in the studio a couple of times when he was just in there, we're just kind of hanging out, just listening to music. And then Andros asked me, I don't know if it was Andros that got me to do the remix or George asked him if I would do the remix of Outside. But obviously I said
It
yeah,
happened.
because it's George Michael. And to be honest with you, I remember Wham, when they first come out, what got me into them in the first place was Wham Rap, which I thought was brilliant at the time. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, to get to remix a record by George Michael was, you know, that's not something you take lightly. I was quite nervous doing it, even though I'd established myself and done hundreds of remixes before that one. That one, because it was a little bit out of my ballpark
Right.
in terms of genre
Yeah.
and what I wanted to do to it. And I remember listening to it and thinking it was quite fast. So
Yeah.
so in my brain, I was thinking, oh, I need to slow it down. So if you listen to that remix, I slowed his vocal right down,
Oh,
which
did
is
you?
yeah, which if you listen, like the kids now, they have a speeded up version of a song and a slowed down version of a song, and all this kind of nonsense. But I did it back then because I thought his song was too fast because I was doing a lot of hip hop records that were more kind of down tempo.
Yeah.
This was quite an up tempo song, so I slowed it down. And I listened to it the other day actually. I was like, "What are you doing, slowing down the man's vocal, man?" I was just being extra. But anyway, he liked it. It turned out all right, and yeah,
But that, I think that's part, that's part of the whole creativity process, isn't it? You just like, you have something in your head
yeah.
that you want to hear, or where you want to take
Well,
it.
no, exactly. So they obviously asked me to do it because they like what I do, and they kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, he let me do what I wanted.
So did you
But
work,
yeah, so
where did you record it? Where did you actually remix it? Sorry.
I
Was it
I
Psalm?
did the remix. No, I did the remix. I met him down in Psalm.
Yeah.
Just I can't remember. I think I might have been doing E17 at the time.
Was Johnny Douglas there at the time?
I I can't remember.
Okay.
But I remember I was doing a remix of E17. That's why I was at Psalm, and
Wow.
George was there. So because I knew him through Jackie and Andros, I think we just had a cup of tea, a little joint, and was listening to music.
Well, you definitely
And
get on. I mean, he's,
yeah, no, he was mad cool. I just remember him being mad cool, and I remember thinking he was so famous though. Like that's superstar. That is a
yeah,
superstar, and there's not many of them. Like he's on level. There's levels to this game.
yeah.
For someone being that famous and being that cool, where you didn't feel in awe. You knew you was in the presence of greatness, but he
Yeah.
didn't make you feel like you must bow to. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't
No, he
that.
didn't make you feel
No, he made you.
uncomfortable.
He made you. No, he made you feel like I'm the same as you, mate. Like,
Yeah,
and the funniest thing, some of the most famous, and I hate using that word, but some of the most successful people I've worked with were the most humble.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like some of the
definitely.
real big superstars are the most humble, and and it's the ones that are not so great that usually have the biggest egos, and
Yeah, pain in the asses.
yeah, which is weird.
No,
But
he
anyway,
was
I digress.
very very blessed. I feel. I think as you get older, you get more sentimental, and I don't think at the time I was so sort of on my own path, and I didn't actually. I mean, obviously knew that I was surrounded by greatness, and I think I was just learning so much that
But you know what it is? It's
I
like it's
wasn't in the
almost like
moment enough. Do you know what I mean? I
no,
feel
but
like
when no, because when you're there, right?
yeah,
And you're just on the job and you're enjoying yourself and you're not really
fully
understanding.
appreciating.
Yeah, you are in a way because you're there and somehow you've got yourself there and you're enjoying it. But yeah, I know what you're saying. You're not looking in, going, "Oh my God, do you understand what you're doing right now?"
Yeah, I
You
know. I
know
know.
what I mean, you're just
I
kind of doing it.
I know. I think if I sort of could retrace my steps again, which I feel like that's what I'm doing at the moment, I'd like to kind of do it all again, but through a different lens. Do you know what
Do
I
you know what I would
mean?
have done? The only thing I would have done is ask more questions. I'd have asked more questions in terms of like how did you come up with that? What made you think of this? What like how?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Do you
think
know what I
I
mean? And the
probably
other thing I didn't do, which everyone does now, is take enough photographs
I
because
know, I know, I
do
know.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, I do. But
I never
then
took a picture of
we
him.
talk about this. He was a very private man, George.
Yeah, no, exactly. And
And
you're
it
fully
wasn't phone
yeah.
culture, was it?
No,
Selfie
it wasn't.
culture.
It wasn't because I have hardly any pictures from the studio sessions that I have. It's because you're just in the studio with someone and you don't want to pull a camera out and do this for Instagram.
No,
I really I can't stand that shit.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But
And
now
it's
you wish you
something.
had.
Well, just for my own personal memory banks. I mean, everything's in here because it was different then. You didn't have, like you're saying, we didn't have the phones
Yeah.
out every minute going, oh, let me just, and then whacking it on Insta. See what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
So
know. And we were talking about that the other day, and I was just like trying to fish. I've got these two massive hat boxes in my loft, and I actually did carry a camera around with me quite a lot, but not in the George times. And I was very aware of his, um, because he's
yeah,
obviously
it's a
so
bit. Do you know what it
famous. The
is?
paparazzi were following him around all the time, so I didn't
No,
want to be that
exactly. And
another
it's a
person.
bit. It's not the done thing to just pull out a camera and go, come on, can we just get a
No.
photo? Especially when you're at work as well. Do you know what I mean? I think
But
it's
maybe we were just being too motherfucking cool. We were trying to be too cool. Do you know what I mean? I think there was an
or
element of that
respectful,
for me.
or respectful.
Yeah. Do you know what I would do when I say going back and looking through a different lens? I think um, I I would have liked to have probably not maybe smoked so much
Smoke
weed
so
or
much.
whatever, just so I
I
could remember
listen.
because
To
it
be
was a bit of
fair,
a haze.
to be fair, I was most of the times I met George, I was hazy
Yeah.
or hazed. I think the majority of the time through my career, I was probably hazy, man.
Well, it
To
did
be fair.
it does help through the creativity process as
It does,
well.
but funny. But saying that, I'm getting my second win now, and listen, apart from the odd glass of wine every now and again,
Yeah,
I don't smoke anymore.
no, same.
I don't do anything. I don't even go out. But I have
Same.
so I somehow channel the same creative. Listen, I couldn't go in the studio before without having a joint. Like that, without I could not listen to music without having a joint. I couldn't create anything without having a joint. That was my crutch. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Was a bit of weed, and it works because it takes you on some. It opens up some other dimensions. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
I was
some
going to
other
say that
gateways.
the process of how we used to go into the studio, it used to be like used to rock up at the studio, and it used to be like a sort of a day and an evening out. It would be so social. You'd go in
Yeah,
and you'd be there for hours, and you'd have like, and then you'd smoke a little bit, and you'd have a laugh, and then you'd do a
yeah,
bit of work, and then you'd stop, and then so it was a whole
mm,
process.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
these young kids, they go into the studio, they smash out three songs in about 3 hours. Do you remember we just like we used to? It
yeah.
was like we'd be there for hours and
You'd
hours.
be there. You'd be there. Yeah, it was a proper. Yeah, it was a day and a night,
Yeah,
and it was hanging out, a little bit of work, have a bit of lunch, have a little smoke, go
yeah.
back in, write some more, da da da. I know, but everything's so fast now. You're banging out. I made 50 beats in one day. I'm like, how do you make 50 beats in one day? Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
do.
I wrote the song in 5 minutes. What? How?
I tell you what,
But
though, I wouldn't change because the music industry was so phenomenal back then, wasn't it? I mean, there was
oh,
just
it
so
was a.
much.
Do you know what? There was a lot of good about it, but there was a lot of dark shit as well, though. In terms of just like, I don't know,
Well,
exploitation, I want to say.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean, that's entertainment in general. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because I think, this is the thing. Because I found success quite early on, right? And nothing prepares you for it.
no,
Nothing prepares you for getting loads of money and getting loads of people all of a sudden around you, and just getting loads of shit. And coming where we come from, it's it's not normal.
yeah,
So trying to adjust to that, and then getting led down different kinds of paths and roads, and people in your ear saying this and that and the other, and then it all. I just got in this just to make music and have a laugh, but then it turns into this weird kind of dark.
Well, it can do, but I guess those are the kind of lessons. But if you think about George and his and how famous
Yeah,
he
I mean
was, I
yeah.
mean that's so what you're talking about, and add about 25 million steroids.
No,
I
no,
mean
of course, but that's
that's
why
the
it's so.
levels. I mean, I can't
Listen,
imagine what he had to cope with.
I'm not sitting here like with a little violin out saying poor me because I had a great, I had a great career. But when I do think back though to how I saw people fall to the wayside and drugs succumb to drugs, man, in a big way, and
Yeah.
Like no, there was no one there to guide them
Protect
in
you.
terms of like
Yeah.
what you should do or how to cope with this, or there was no support network. It's kind of like, okay, I'm learning on the job how to deal with this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolute madness. And I'm not even like a artist like that. I'm a producer, do you know what I mean? So I can imagine being the face like George or whoever. It must have been bananas, man. I mean, the All Saints girls used to, every time we went out, there was paparazzi following us around in vans and shit, jumping out. Do
Really.
you know what I mean? All that kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
not sure that I could have my personality could have coped with that. I don't think I'm kind of glad I had the career and I've had the career that I've had because I've sort of always been on like behind the
yeah.
scenes as it were, but I've still had the taste of seeing what it was like to be around such famous people. I mean, Robbie was just he was literally hounded, hounded.
Oh, listen, 100%, and because he went out with Nicole for a long time, so me and him got
That's
to
right.
hang out quite a lot, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's
Let's leave
just
that on there.
part.
But
It's just
yeah, so I
part of that
just
whole.
I'm just so you did this remix. Sorry, did you say you recorded
Yeah.
it at Psalm for George?
No, so I recorded it in Hammersmith at the Pierce Room.
Pierce.
At the Pierce Room in Hammersmith, behind
Oh,
the Bats
okay.
Apollo. I think they call it the. Anyway, it's the Pierce Rooms, but it's behind the Apollo in Hammersmith.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
studio. It's a studio where it's quite a big studio. Everyone's recorded there. It's kind of tucked away behind the theatre. So yeah, that's where I did the actual
And did
mix.
Chris Porter do it? What did Chris Porter have to do with it?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I was just looking on it's got Chris Porter as well. Is he a producer?
I'm not sure.
I'm
Google
sure
him.
Chris Porter's a producer as well. Maybe he,
Or was it Chris
uh,
Potter?
was it Chris Potter? Oh my God.
I can't
I think
remember.
it's on, you don't maybe we'll
No,
edit
that was
this.
it was a while ago, man.
I know, I know. So what are you up to now, darling? What's
So
your plans? What's the plans?
so this is my new space. I've literally just set. So I moved into a new house on New Year's Eve of this year. So I woke up in my new house on New Year's Day, which was cool. I've just literally got my studio set up and running.
Yeah.
So you're the first eyes to see it, and I'm happy with the space. I just done my first mix in here for Darkers.
So Darkers is another friend of ours, and he signed Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, he signed Amy Winehouse, became the first black president of a major record label,
Yeah, he's done
ran
some
Island
amazing
Records,
stuff.
ran Island Records UK, and ran Island Records in the USA. But anyway, he's back in England now, and he's got his own
Is he
Darko
doing Jessie
recording
J as
firm.
well? We're running out of time,
He's
so we have
working
to
back.
wrap
He's
this up.
working back with Jesse. In fact, we worked together on the first album, which is how I got the disc of Jesse J up there. It's that one. Yeah. I think it's like 5 or 6 times platinum or some shit. But anyway, yeah.
So
So
your remix, did you say
oh yeah,
your
no. So I've just done a mix for Darkest for his new artist called Jess Foley.
okay.
She's dope. She's dope. And I've just been, do you know, I've been dipping my foot in the K-pop kind of
Have
scene.
you?
Yeah,
Well,
which is
maybe we can do some work together.
yeah.
That would be
Why not?
nice.
Funny. Well,
Seeing
it's
as you didn't
saying
know
that.
I was a singer.
No, I didn't until years and years later, which is very modest of you actually to not be like, oh come on man, I'm a singer man. Da, 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 da. I mean, for someone that was surrounded by so many talented people, right? You picked and choose who you actually told what you were trying to do, because I remember because our little crew was quite cutting. Let's say.
Well, yeah, and I was just constantly around boys, so I was a bit of a
Yeah.
bloke. So yeah, I
And
know
then,
how.
and you know what? And people would just shut you down if you come out. People were fast to put you back in your box if you come out and
Yeah,
say, "Yeah, well, I'm doing." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So you kind of
Well,
had to hold it down until it happened.
absolutely. And that's
Do
what
you know
I
what I'm
did.
saying? Yeah, no,
But you
100%.
know what? I'm still working it all out. I feel like I'm on catch up. I've spent, I had the most incredible career, but obviously my main priority was to be a mum, which is why my life took a different trajectory. And
Well,
I'm
no, yeah, no. Well, I get that because I've just had twins, as you know, right? They've
yeah,
they just turned a year old. They're the most important thing to me. Like music
yeah,
is important to me. Music was my wife and my child before,
yeah,
and now it's not. It's it's um it's great and everything, but there's more important things to life to me now.
100%. Once you
Yeah,
have kids, that's
do you know what I
it.
mean? And yeah, no, 100%. I couldn't have done it any sooner because I was too reckless before then. I was so career driven that yeah, I wouldn't have
You
been
listen, you weren't reckless. We were just we've you
young.
were you you look at your wall. Look, that's
Yeah,
not reckless. That is not reckless. That's
yeah.
just, there's you're incredible talent. And that's I think we sort
No,
of,
so I'm trying
you
to
know,
attain.
you're humble too. You're a fellow Capricorn, so I get it. You're
Yes, yeah, yeah. No, it's funny because I do suffer from imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I think we all
Always have
do.
done.
We all
And I
do.
spoke
And
to
we're
so- I
our own
spoke
worst enemies.
I've spoken to some really successful people, like the guy that produced Adele, another producer, and he was just like, mate, I wake up every day and think I'm going to get found out. And he's actually won a Grammy. And, do you know what I mean? And all this kind of shit. Like, his wall is crazy. And he's like, mate, I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And
I
I'm like,
love
brilliant.
that.
I mean, Darker said something similar to me as well. And he's like, he's run a corporation, a multi-billion pound corporation. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I don't listen, we're all everyone's feeling their way through life, aren't they? It's just,
Oh, 100%, man.
I
Like,
think we're honest enough now and old enough and brave enough to say we are actually just winging it and we're just winging it. And it's, we get presented with these opportunities and we just go with it and just, what will be. But I mean, working working with George, I think I didn't fully appreciate I mean, the greatness of
no,
him until we've started doing this George Michael project and unpacking his songwriting, like properly unpacking it, his
yeah.
lyrics. I mean, I knew he was an incredible songwriter, and I was a Wham fan. But actually, when you actually have to sing the lead parts and you have to dissect the whole song,
Yeah.
from not just from a backing vocal perspective, from a lead vocal perspective, and his delivery and his emotion behind it all, and the content, he's just a fucking genius.
Well, listen, I watched the documentary. It must have, maybe a year or two ago now about his the life and times. It was probably more about Wham going into obviously his solo career, and just watching it because I was a kid when we were kids when they first come out. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? And the way they just changed the landscape of music. But what was interesting was they were showing how he wrote the songs at such a young age,
yeah, I know. I mean,
and how he
Careless
was so
Whisper.
I know, and that's how he was so meticulous with how he put the stuff together and the producers he worked with, and how he would just send things back time and time and again until it was right because he had a certain way he wanted it to sound in his ears.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And I think
yeah,
it might have been Careless Whisper that he sent to this one of the biggest producers in the world, or he didn't. I can't remember the exact story,
yeah,
but it got sent back and he didn't like it, and they were like,
yeah,
"Hey, do you know who this guy's like produced?" He was like, "No, but it's not right."
yeah, yeah. And he was brave enough to say that, and he was brave
Yeah,
enough to say a lot, actually. I think if he was still alive now, with what's going on in the world today, I mean, he would be out there speaking up, and I mean, I just because he was so highly intelligent as well, and so way ahead of his time with regards to his a political stance, and just so
Oh,
aware,
listen.
like way ahead of his time. For the fact that he,
Well, he's so ahead of his time. He rapped when he on like his, wasn't Wham Rap their first single or second single?
I don't
It was
know.
what? It was a very early single, man. Very early single, and rap was like, in its infancy,
Yeah.
and the geezer made a tune called Wham Rap. I'm like, come on, man. That's like that's cutting edge, mate. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think he gets enough props for doing a song called Wham Rap and rapping on the bloody thing.
It's true.
Before grime, before all that,
Maybe we
before all
should,
that.
maybe you should, not we should, you should remix it. Maybe you should remix
Do
it.
you know what I'm saying? Think about it though. How ahead of the thinking behind that at that time is crazy because there was no rap scene here in this in the UK at that time. Really, no, there
Yeah.
wasn't.
Darling, thank you so much for joining us today. Honestly, it's been amazing talking to you. I could talk to you for hours.
Hope you enjoyed that episode of Conversations with the George Michael Singers. We really hope you learned a little bit more about George Michael. Keep listening, keep following us. There's lots more to come.